here come the bans. We know where this is going to go. Really, don't we? There we go. Yep, that one. Now, is Elsu getting through this time?
No, surely
better not.
Surely
it better not.
Surely not.
PrideStark start, they'd be fine with that coming through again, so it's Nakaroth, and there we go, Minority have no interest in the
Normal
sniper.
business has been resumed.
The thing is with
Well,
Elsu,
glad we got to see Elsu,
well,
because I think that may be the only chance we'll ever see Elsu
right.
until like another patch.
And the thing is, it wasn't a dominant performance either, but that just goes to show how strong he is, because he was missing snipes at the beginning, and once he got a couple in, that made all the difference.
He did miss a few, to be fair, and you could see when they counted, so yeah. Okay, otherwise, this is looking pretty, there we go, pretty standard for today.
The Sephiroth removed, it'll be Zephyrs, Elsu, and Lindis in opposition. That means first ban can come, or first pick can come through to Richter, should that be Minority's focus. I'd like to see them actually prioritize their support, their jungle right now.
I'm just happy that Minority remembered to ban 3
Oh,
times.
why? Oh, why? Don't do this.
Yeah, this is...
I don't agree with that at all.
You know what this feels like? This feels like 80s Hero playing Abyssal Lane and not being fully comfortable with all the carry ADCs, and Valheim is his fallback pick. That's what it feels like.
Possible, but Valheim is not really great right now in the meta. He's certainly not bad, but he's not the peak of the pinnacle of bot lane ADC play, and that's what I expect from a player like 80s Hero.
Well, January looked great on the Superman.
Hold up, double ranged. It has returned. Violet in the jungle, Valheim in the side lane, Superman in January's hands. That actually is a ton of damage. There needs to be some HP up, some tank up from PrideStark now.
Well, Valheim can build somewhat tanky, but I do like this a lot more. I like to have an actual marksman on the side of any team that actually plays with Valheim. I don't like him as the only marksman, so this is good for them. And looks like they're building...
Oh, yes.
a similar
I am in. I don't know what this composition is, but I like it.
Why do you like it? If you don't
because, okay, because I'm easily excited. Because they have Violet.
Oh, Quillen is in.
Yeah, so they have Violet, they have Superman.
Wait.
And they have Tulin, which is the most bursty trio you can run.
Wait. Is this a troll? Wait,
no.
No. Quillen, why did they pick Quillen into an ARM?
Because they're confident that they'll win the matchup. But hear me out. Tulin, Superman, Violet is the biggest burst engage comp you can actually dream of. If they go for a fight, they will absolutely delete the first person they encounter. Now, the problem they're facing is that there's a lot of resurrection, there's a lot of sustain opposing them. Zenial can take everything they throw at them, and Teamy can bring him and a bro back from that burst. So what they then need is the capacity to keep the fight going for a while, by a few more seconds. That's what Minority have in the Arum, a chance for their burst damage to reset and claim another victim, because the Arum can lock down the major source of damage. It does all rely on them getting to the backlines, though. They need to find the kill once again onto Ra, once again the Telenas.
TJ, I think that PrideStark's trying to prove a point. That they can win with a roster that is heavily not early game against a roster that is very much focused on the early game, and with a Quillen that can get locked down by ARM. They're going to say, we're going to outskill you, even though this could definitely go poorly early on.
So why do you think, for people who haven't had a chance to play with Quillen, why do you think this Quillen pick is not a serious one and may actually be detrimental?
Well, okay, it takes him a while to get farmed up, and there's a very fast starting roster on the side of Minority.
Yeah.
2, he can get locked down by ARM if he gets outplayed by the ARM. And I'm guessing he's saying that I'm going to outplay the ARM instead.
Okay, so we wondered whether PrideStark might hold some stuff back. Instead, it seems for this second game in their best 2 against Minority, they are looking to make a statement.
Perhaps a bit full of pride in stark contrast to Minority, having to eat theirs after a dismal game 1.
Well, Nani, one of the best going forward as far as being able to be aggressive in the early game. I will say it once more, Minority has an insane early game composition with the ARM, with the Valheim, the Superman, and the Tulin, all early game heroes trying to provide that damage. Big beginnings.
A little bit low, the Ion Blasts don't quite chip him down, and now KZ Fox can begin to poke out. So, once again, early composition, you say, for Minority, and you're absolutely right. If we get to the 10-minute mark, though, and Minority haven't made a major dent in the PrideStark base and the PrideStark lines, things look upsetting for them.
I would go really far on that statement that you just made, TJ. I would say that if Minority isn't at least up 3,000 gold at 10 minutes, then we'll have a win for PrideStark. At least 3,000.
Because there is so much more potential to scale into the late game on the composition presented. Telenas, Zenial, well, potentially the roster beginnings resurrecting them all.
That said, they have such a crazy early game lineup that they could make that happen.
Especially prior to the arrival of the Resurrect on the scene. Level 4 for beginnings.
Well, things are staying even right now. Lots of damage coming onto PrideStark, but no kills for either team quite yet, and no gold lead either.
Spirit Sentinel will be up. It's going to be maybe gone to try and steal it away. Does get it locked down. Meaning Minority are doing well, building up that early gold lead like you were hoping for.
PrideStark are playing this correctly, though. They're giving away advantages just to make sure that they don't fall too far behind.
Yep, play it safe until you get to that 8, 9, 10-minute mark. The Abyssal Dragon will be a key fight, though, and maybe Gods is already here alongside J5. Oh, they've kited it.
Aram's in their jungle.
Just zoning. My God, Nani, what are you doing? The Angelic Splendor will come through. He should be dead. There's no question about it. Maybe God comes through. This could actually be disastrous. You can see KO coming out. J5 trying to hold. He'll be stunned up. Good thunderclap through. He's got the damage. January for the cleanup. Now KO pushes in with the Malleus. He too will be rebuffed. It's another kill over to Minority and 2-1 up in the early game.
Just when they thought they were playing conservative, PrideStark decides to take the fight, and unfortunately, they get punished for it as all of that early game power coming from Minority takes them down.
They got baited. Hook, line, and sinker. The pressure comes in from Nani. They think, oh no, this is an overextension. We can punish it after they get the kill, and they press forward, and the entire early game side of Minority greets them with open arms.
Exactly, especially the damage coming out from J5 on the Tulin there.
Shouldn't they have got a pistol with that team fight? It didn't feel like they got a lot from it.
Well, they were pretty low. That is one of the advantages of taking a fight like that, is you can get them low. Oh.
J5 can't get to safety. Even if you can get them low, J5 still very low after that fight that they won.
This is danger time here already for...
Danger time.
For Minority, because we didn't have the Being a Bro in the fight last time. Now they do. Now they have Being a Bro and Angelic Splendor. It's going to be much harder for Minority to get their kills now.
Yeah, much harder to confirm them. As KZ Fox is also demonstrating the powers he's now got. His unpredictable, his Fox form unlocked.
Makes it much harder to kill him as well. Zane getting potentially
Despair, he's shut down. Angelic Splendor will come through. Can they confirm the kill? No! Yes! It's turned round. The Tactical Flyer hunts past the Thunderbird and finds the kill regardless.
Right, the Thunderbird was excellently blocked, but he still got the kill anyway, and now the invade comes in.
KZ Fox needs to dash back behind the tower as he's dropped low. This Sage Golem invade is going decently, but they're losing a lot of HP for it. 80s Hero leads the way. They've got the Valheim, they've got the Sage Golem successfully stolen. I want to see this turn into an Abyssal, but they don't have the HP.
They absolutely don't, and Nani doesn't have the mana either. But this is, January's going to get out of there with that sprint.
Oh, barely! Beginnings doesn't get that kill.
Unable to pick it up, but this is something we need to talk about with the sprint coming up from January working out great for him. That's one of the newer changes to the playstyle of Superman after they buffed that a couple of patches ago.
And we can see that Sprint Superman allows him to re-enter that flight mode quicker.
Right, and stay in the fight, not just use that the CC removal, the purifier there to get out of things all the time. But I'm liking the aggression here from Minority. Unfortunately, even though they've been very aggressive this game, it's resulted in, yet again, a goal deficit.
Yet again, Minority unable to gain enough ground, and you said around the 10-minute marker they didn't have a 3,000 gold lead. They're not headed for that. Now Nani does lock KO down, but there's no punish. Maybe Gods is having to play back because of the threat coming through from the rest of the team. You see that now from beginnings. KO simply has too much HP. There's no punish on hand, and J5 is having to flee in the mid lane. The Angelic Splendor will come through. KO arrives. Maybe God needs the damage. Thunderbird can't get through. KO finally falls, but at what cost? And Zane dives through. That's one, that's two. And the Resurrect there, should he fall, Nani will chase, getting revenge, but that is the only revenge.
Oh, he didn't kill him.
Oh, he didn't even get the kill!
He's still alive!
Zane survives!
With no HP, apparently, he is able to get out of there. Now, Minority do grab the gold lead, but not if they're
I love that you're trying to spin this, Daniel, but it does not look good.
The one thing, okay, maybe God was not touched that entire time. He was getting damage left and right, chunking the side of PrideStark. That is the one thing they have to their side. He is the one hero that scales into the late game fantastically, so that if they can continue to protect him, that is their way to win this game.
Maybe God, he'll have to be.
Needs to be an absolute God for this game.
Zane locks in the club Sancti now, so he'll be twice as devastating.
Nani providing that excellent frontline presence for his team, and PrideStark having a tough time dealing with it thus far. They need Raw to be there every time Nani shows up.
He'll sweep in, now with the uncaged, slows and stuns. It's enough to scare back PrideStark, playing back.
Nani, you can see aggressively hunting for those snares to lock them down.
Look at this KO battle. He's been doing quite well this game.
Well, he is able to split push and immediately join the team with that Angelic Splendor, so that means he's going to be extra aggressive against January on that Superman, who has to fly back, unfortunately, for his sad legs.
First Bizzle Dragon of the game. I questioned many times why Minority weren't prioritizing it. PrideStark maybe were asking that question as well. They've now taken the gold lead.
Take that for themselves, like, oh, I guess this is available right now. And this is danger time here for Minority. They needed to have a lead by now, and instead they're down 1,000 gold.
I said if they didn't have a 3,000, you said if they didn't have a 3,000 gold lead by the 10-minute mark, their early game composition had failed. They're now at a 1,000 gold deficit at the 8-minute mark.
Now their only hope is to keep Maybe God alive for these fights. He cannot get deleted by Quillen, or else the game will be over in a matter of a couple team fights.
They get a tower. Maybe God able to chunk it down. They have J5 potentially still able to do massive damage. January still mechanically outplaying many people.
Right, and Minority is continuing to group up here. If you are PrideStark, perhaps you take advantage of that by fanning out to the other sides of the map, but looks like they're grouping together as well. A little bit wary of this composition here from Minority.
Definitely, and I'm not sure if I approve, because frankly, PrideStark probably could take and win a fight at this point.
Look at this, the teammate, the Beginnings hasn't even upgraded his Waterstone quite yet, which is interesting to me. Over on the other side, Nani has gone for both the Hermes Select and the Ring of the Feet, which means he is going to be extremely fast. That's going to allow him to potentially grasp onto anyone he wants on the other side.
Basically the same as a Flicker at that point.
Right.
Beginnings will be scared back. Nani perhaps looking for that speed boost. It'll be a Thunderbird instead to chase down the damage onto Beginnings.
Well, taking a look at the situation right now, the towers are even. The gold is somewhat close, and PrideStark are starting to hit their stride in that late game. But again, I mentioned it for the umpteenth time. Maybe God is potentially their savior if they can keep him alive during these fights.
Oh
no. Oh no.
But they're struggling to keep their side lanes alive as January will fall. Now.
Zane is coming on. Zane is coming on that Quillen. Look at his build. He has the Clavis. He has so much damage right now.
Beginnings, are you sure about that? I see you're trying to press a tower. Would you like some help with that, KO says.
Oh!
He arrives and scares back the whole team, and Zane, where have you come from? He'll grab two. Zane with a double kill, shutting down Baby God, and Minority should lose this mid lane tower.
Quillen has come alive, TJ, and this, we have hit the 10-minute mark, and it is danger time for Minority. They should be afraid.
Been danger 10 minutes. It never really felt like they were in the clear. This early game composition wasn't able to work.
Exactly, and you saw why I looked at the 10-minute mark for them to need that lead, and that is exactly why. Zane came in and annihilated multiple members there.
And now, like you said, their only hope is to survive till hyper late, where maybe God can probably one-shot many of the squishier members of PrideStark.
The only problem is if maybe God steps out one step out of line, he's going to get taken down by the Zane.
Club Sancti just built, though, on the Valheim. Maybe a little bit of extra damage on ACs.
Right. It is still a bit defensively. Obviously, he has plenty of items to his name because of that 8.5.
Why is he so fed? Why has he got so much gold?
The Abyssal Lane, the bigger melee minions.
Why are they power farming a Valheim?
Well, the Telenos on the other side has more, so he's still not winning that.
I don't really like the Valheim power farm because Valheim isn't doing as much damage.
I think it's just incidental. I don't think they were planning on doing that as J5 goes down. But it just happened that way because he was in the Abyssal lane. And that's why having side lane the marksman works. Except not in this case because it's Valheim.
Yeah, and Valheim more useful for the stuns, for the utility, the setup for other damage, which has been a little bit lackluster here as Minority lose another tower.
He can be useful. He was somewhat useful in that early game with the early game comp, but now it is starting to fall apart here for Minority. Down lots of gold, down lots of towers.
Here's PrideStark going in for the towers. Nani to defend. KO with the Malleus will stun things up. Nani's belted! And this will be a double kill. January tries to hold, but it might not matter. Here's the high ground itself under threat. January for the wave clear. The Angelic Splendor is there to reset their HPs. They will still take this high ground. J5 flickers forward. Will be able to grab a kill, but there's a resurrect. Beginnings is back. They're in the base and they haven't taken a high ground.
They don't even care. They're just within the towers. We live here now. This is our base now.
That's going to be another high ground to fall. PrideStark want to push ever forward. They want to take the game, and they've got an opportunity to, as they've gone more than 4 players down. Zane flickers forward. This core is under threat. They've lost 2 players, though, to the high ground, to the core tower, to the fountain tower. It shouldn't matter. Raw chucks the tower. PrideStark take it. 2-0.
We thought that Minority had a chance in that early game, but they were unable to capitalize, and that meant that Raw and Zane were able to annihilate them on the backside.
Once again, crisp, clean, wholesome AOV coming out from PrideStark.
Holding on just long enough to make that happen. But make it happen they did.
Minority, we knew PrideStark were one of these 2 hot expected teams out of North America. Minority seeing what that's going to be like, and it turns out you take players from good teams, you put them together, it makes a good team. 2 plus 2 still makes 4, but 5, because there's 5.
3 plus 2, maybe?
No, 2 plus 2.
Oh, it's fine.
So, PrideStark, yeah, dominating performance from them. Not the most one-sided game we've seen today, though, and we've seen a couple of those. That was... I still think there's stuff there for Minority to build on.
Yeah, we could see January looking very good on that Superman. J5 again, game number 2. Didn't look bad. We saw some good Tulin plays. I think maybe God didn't look great. That Violet needed to be a little bit more.
They had one fight where it looked pretty good, but after that, it seemed like PrideStark was like, oh yeah, maybe we should focus that one.
Maybe not that.
Yeah, maybe just kill the one that's dealing all the damage to us. And from then on, it was
and that was 80's Hero struggling again, this time on a character it felt like he comfort picked. You theorized maybe he was just comfortable with it because he played it previously. If you're going to play bot lane, if you're going to put so much of your resources towards farming that bot lane, make it a character that does damage.
Right, and
we've seen him before playing dueling characters. We've seen him doing, what, the AI? Yeah, I'm thinking of games we've done before.
He played AIC.
Yeah,
for
he
North
wasn't.
America.
I was questioning myself there. It wasn't the AIC. Yeah,
He's very good at, or he was traditionally very good at the melee sideliner. So we'd see him on Lubu, we'd see him on characters like that, absolutely dominating in those duels. But if he's transitioning to ranged ADC in the bot lane, you need a whole different skill set. It's all about the positioning, it's all about the understanding of where you're setting up the fight.
But Valheim isn't even a character that does damage, like you said. After up to a point, then it's more about utility and stun. So that doesn't feel like a natural fit to him.
No, but it is a character that historically was played in the Slayer lane, where he might have felt a little bit more used to it.
I do want to revise as we take a look at the replays. One thing I said, and I liked Valheim with a jungle marksman, but we're seeing just how farmed these ADC side lane heroes are getting with the changes in the last patch.
Ooh,
and I feel like we need to have the stronger heroes in that lane, the heroes that you want to hyper farm in there.
Yeah,
I don't know how January got out of that one, and then you look at Zane.
Or
oh, January's got loads of health compared to Zane.
It was when we incidentally glanced down at the Valheim and we saw that 80 without really any special attention had just casually built up more gold than anyone else on his team by about 3,000.
Right, that was just incidentally he farmed that up, and that just goes to show how much of a difference being in that Abyssal lane means.
So who you're putting in your Abyssal lane, they need to be able to outscale and out-damage the rest of the team.
Exactly.
Pretty even when you look at participation. Nobody, I mean, Zayn with the best figures there, you might expect with Quillen, but otherwise on both sides, it's kind of everybody pulling their weight a bit in terms of turning up at fights, whether or not they should be.
I would like to shout out Quellen for 2 reasons. One, because D2 dared doubt it.
I didn't doubt it. I said they were like testing their limits. They're like, how well can we play this game?
They haven't found their limit yet.
You thought it might even be a troll pick.
No, I mean troll as in like we're going to show how good we are.
Yeah.
By
I get
Zayn
it. By outperforming you with a character we shouldn't be able to, but look at what he's done with him.
Zayn is considered the best jungler in North America. This was a statement.